I went right by it. This is marked Schools, Natives, Photos, and Idea Notebook. Cool. Let's get this out. There's 18 things on top of that. The Idea Notebook. What's in here? I tried to make small duplicate art so people who can't afford a whole painting could buy small things for a couple bucks. Oh yeah, got negatives from photography class. That was the next door neighbor kid, Josh. We were getting just some photos from when I had photography class. Okay, enough of that. What's in here? Oh yeah, that's a reproduction of a drawing I did at the National Gallery in D.C. Jane grew up playing in the Library of Congress and as a teenager spent all her time in the National Gallery. Here's a little reproduction of a painting. Here's the instructions for the thinking cap. We'll get the thinking cap out in a minute here if I can find it. Here's like a montage of paintings. Do you guys have that painting? I think Barbara got that painting for Carol. That's from standing in my mom's backyard, so what you're looking at is Mr. Knuebel's yard, or then the Skarlinski's yard right across the street from Barbara's house. That's the backyard, guys. It's my idea notebook. It says as of 1/28/94. 61 art ideas, 73 inventions, 8 music ideas, 7 electronic ideas. What's IDE? I don't know what that means. Total 212 ideas. And believe me, some of them are really, really sketchy. So, well, here's one that got clipped in that exists nowhere else. It's just a loose page. You know how when you just grab a loose page that looks like the gerbils had their lunch and ate half the page. You know, the dog ate my homework, the gerbil ate my idea. This was an idea for, oh cool, a cube. This would be cool to do a 3D print of. It starts out as a cube and the pieces come apart and rearrange and it turns into a rock. Or vice versa. It's a puzzle. Yeah, it's a puzzle. You take it apart, it turns into a rock. I guess that was back in the day of the pet rock. To design, I don't know what this is. Cracks me up. It's categorized art, invention, blah blah blah. So it's something manufactured art supply. This is when I did mall shows way back whenever. Oh yeah, and so then for every idea, I signed it. I had Jane sign it. I have a friend sign it as a witness. They're not notarized, but they do have dates. I think they're all the same date. Oh, DOI, date of idea, 91. Hot air inflatable sculpture. Utilize plastic bag welding with iron technique. Use various colors. See sketches, I think. Here, for instance, this gives a reference to the sketchbook that this idea appears in. Oh, cool. Spherical canvas. There it is. Date of idea, February 1990. One prototype exists. Date, September. Inside surface is ceramic view. Shaped frame canvas, 1983. Oh yeah, I have two-dimensional canvases, odd shapes. Okay, so I should be able to find over here is right here. Here's a replica of the canvas here that I made. I think I had it printed at Kinko's, and it's photographs of the actual triangle. This is the canvas sphere in reverse. There's my little dog, Jack. And then there was a hole in the bottom so you could see. So you have to imagine this being all on the inside of the real canvas sphere. But for a nice little keepsake, maybe I was thinking about selling these like reproductions. Cool. So I am going to reach up and get those pieces out. This happens to be, it's my little keepsake bag of Carol stuff. Dan, this is a bunch of stuff Barb gave me over the years from Carol, like most anything Carol made. So it's like, we grew up across the street, still making stuff. Anyways, that's my whole thing of, I believe, Carol things. Oh yeah, I gotta send you my little video of the Christmas card my sister Lynn sent me this year. It'll all make sense when I put it together. There's something else on here that shouldn't be. I sure hope that the canvas isn't getting ruined. Ah, come here. The trouble is, it's a great box for the canvas sphere, but it wasn't big enough to hold all the pieces, so these desperately need cleaning. I'm not sure how I'm going to do it because there's no varnish on them, just carefully with water and cotton ball. So that's one part of it. These are the bottom three pieces. They have a cutaway right here so the viewer can stick their head through. It's an icosahedron. So the only thing that's an issue is this needs to be cleaned. But that is a real canvas sphere. Here comes the replica, and that is that part of it with the cutaway. And so too those other pieces. I desperately need to do something to protect this. I do all in my ability. I have tried to protect all of my work that has remained with me. So I need to figure out how to liquidate, or how am I going to get rid of all my artwork so it's protected. I live in an ark, in a cloistered existence. This is my ark. It's 53 degrees down here in the basement because I turned the heat off. Oh, here you go. Here is my, it stays installed because it's also a good place to store it. This is my 3D scanner, self-scanner. I had to build my own contraption. It holds a camera. This rotates. It's in the parked position right now. These bicycle hooks got out of the way, and this is actually the inversion of the original motorized turntable that I originally used for scanning. And it started out as this was the original turntable here. It was simply a sculpture stand. It was a model sculpture stand, which I simply copied the design from my sculpture teacher, Brinsley Terrell. Of course, here's the sculpture stand that I replicated. They had a bunch of these at Kent State in the sculpture department. And this is, Barbara's still under here in clay, though, again, I have the cast sculpture. Here's Barbara, always smiling at me, helping me do whatever I'm doing. She's always up there blocking the light, so whenever I'm doing something and I don't want that super bright light, it's only there to keep the light from shining. Probably when I'm doing some 3D scanning, photogrammetry pictures. So she's always there, you know, letting me know everything's cool. If you want to watch TV, there's a test pattern on my ceiling because honestly, I don't know where to keep everything. Anyway, let's go back over to where was I?